But it just feels like the walling is particularly effective, and it's really frustrating for all of the approach options Ranno wants to try to attempt. So we'll see how Toothbrush deals with that here. Toothbrush, obviously, a really great Ranno player, and obviously Shadow really strong too. So we'll see how it plays out in this set. So I assume top 8, these are going to be, are these best of 5?
I would imagine they would be best of 5.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, hopping in here onto Godai, so what I really like to see earlier, again, looking for the parry, so the running parries coming out with just the, not the shield parry, but the regular parry.
Right.
It's so on the tornado is very important, because you do want, it's less of trying to put Fleet in parry stun, but more of maximizing your invincibility to try to just get in there and make something happen. Because like you just saw right there, the nairs and the forward airs are just so good at pushing Ranno in the corner.
Yeah, it's by no means like a free like win of neutral at all. It just gives you an opportunity to do something in neutral, right, and to get through that wall, like you were saying. And you definitely need as many of those opportunities as you can get in this matchup. And, you know, parrying the tornado obviously gives them another thing to dodge as well, because they have to dodge their own tornado. So it's, you know, a good thing. But right here, once the Fleet gets going with those projectiles and you're already like in a tech chase situation where you can't parry it, or you're in the air or something, that's when it's the hardest, I think, for Ranno.
Alright, looking for the down. Actually covers the second platform. Wow, that was great coverage.
Incredible coverage. Really, these top tier Fleet players do such a great job covering option coverages with that side B, because of how just like it's very active, and obviously it follows up with the tornado as well. So even if it doesn't hit, right, you still are in trouble. And then obviously they're coming to follow up on that, and they're saying, okay, well, whatever happens here, I'm ready with the up air or the back air or whatever it is to finish you off.
Because he gave him the ownership. That's like, okay, this guy's a good player. He's gonna slide off this special arrow, and so I'm gonna cover the slide off with up air, and he's gonna die. Like, I know what his best defensive option is. I'm just going to cover that best defensive option. So, great set play coming out from Shadow.
Ooh, that weak hit of fair. Not going to get the kill here for Toothbrush. Again, another weak hit. It's so hard when you know, your opponent goes like a little bit high and you aim it a little bit wrong. And now, Shadow kind of running away with that second stock here, because Toothbrush can't seem to find the kill on 164% Fleet. This is kind of one of the complaints that, okay, there we go. Finally, that DI not going too high and getting that fair. I've seen some complaints about when you can't find a kill, right, and your opponent gets a little bit too high. It's been a pretty consistent thing that I've heard from players. Players struggle to find the kill when their confirms don't work anymore, right? And that's kind of what happened to Toothbrush right there.
Marthritis is a real thing. Started off in melee and just being able to... I think top players are very good at only allowing their opponent to get their open-ups. And you'll see that, you know, especially at the highest level, because you want to be able to at least avoid dying. Because if you get hit by a launcher, you get hit by an open-up, yeah, you can reset neutral and then potentially get your own neutral win and stack up your lead or continue your lead. So people are just very good with their defensive game nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, when, you know, and these good players, when they know that they're out of, like, confirm range, right, they can really, like, play extra defensively and know that, like, you know, there's only a couple of raw hits that, okay, this is a really bad situation for Toothbrush here. Okay, managing to get back.
Stop. Not quite.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that the players, knowing that you have to have a raw hit, it makes it extra easy for them to play defensively. And okay, wow, these nairs at ledge, these drop off nairs, yeah, you're dead. These drop off nairs have been really brutal for Shadow, and Toothbrush hasn't been able to find a way to deal with them. The invincible reset into, you know, like aerial from ledge is really strong in this version of the game, and especially if you have like one of those lingering attacks like a Fleet nair at ledge, it's just really oppressive to deal with.
Yeah, that third stock was definitely it was pretty brutal. The edge guard flowcharts from Fleet are especially lethal in this matchup, because Fleet has so much access to go out and snuff tongue lash to offstage bubble, as well as being able to cover low recoveries with ledge drop float. You'll see that with Cake Assault is particularly very good at it. You'll ledge drop float nair covers the tech with reverse back air after the fact, so it's just a checkmate situation, especially if you have a top level Fleet.
Yeah, I mean, for Toothbrush's sake, I hope he can figure out some more mix-ups here on the recovery. It's tough, you know, like these good Fleet players, they really do cover a lot of options here, but if you're not able to recover, you're not going to do really well in this matchup, so he's got to figure out something.
All right, playing out again, abusing the shield drop again. A lot of people's complaints about this game is shield is just ridiculous, and specifically shield drop is ridiculous. There are actually 3 different methods to shield drop in this game. It's the axe method, the just push down method. There's actually an auto buffered shield drop option as well, where if you are in shield stun, you tap down and you will shield drop on the first available frame.
Wait, I didn't know that. That's such a cool tech. Thank you.
Not a lot of people do. A lot of people do it accidentally, but it is ridiculously powerful.
So I've been doing the one where where I like let go of shield and press down at the same time because I don't want to get an accidental like spot dodge or whatever because I'm not used to like melee styles. And it works okay, but the buffering definitely will avoid having an extra.
It needs to get removed.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, auto shield drop on first.
You know what?
Frame is way too strong.
You're right. I think I agree with you. I hadn't really thought about it, but because it just seemed strong when you first told me, and I'm like, okay, maybe a little too strong. Yeah.
That and shield decay needs to be raised by like
20%.
You
shield decay like how fast the health automatically goes down.
Because you can just sit in shield for like 7-8 seconds uninterrupted.
You can, but a while back they nerfed. So I have heard obviously that the shields are too strong complaints, but I'm not sure I fully agree with that because I feel like they nerfed by the way. Good,
you're an ultimate player. You can't shield anyway.
Okay, that's fair, but just because an ultimate player doesn't mean that. Okay, so look. So they nerfed the shield recovery rate a while ago, and it's pretty slow now unless you get like a parry or something that like auto gives you back shield health. And I've found in my games a lot when someone's shield is low, they have to be very careful for like a real long amount of time. I know that maybe the auto shield decay isn't super high, but once you've hit the shield a couple of times, I found that there's a real risk of shield breaking. But we can agree to disagree.
Well, how many of your neutral wins come from shield grab? that will from shield grab.
I wouldn't say a lot. I don't know. I'm not the greatest player. I'm right on the edge of diamond. So I'm definitely not at these guys' level. But I feel like a lot of my neutral wins come from the mix up of jab or jab into grab, right? Things like that. But anyway, back to this game. This is a really close one. Toothbrush at 145%, but like we said, it's unless you find that raw hit 50%. Oh man, never mind. I forgot about the ledge drop nairs. Those are just going to be a really consistent kill option for Shadow here. And now Toothbrush needs to find this kill and not get nickel and dimed into a really high percent situation here, because that's been kind of their downfall in the other game as well. But oh my god, finding yourself off stage here, you're going to take so much damage before you find the way back.
Finds the sweet spot though. Alright, Toothbrush.
This is really bad. We've got Chime. Okay, it was a good idea to use the up B. Yeah. Oh, you were kind of a goner there, but very smart options by Toothbrush. Unfortunately, yeah, that tech chase is incredible. That tech chase gets me every time. So, and it clearly is working even at the top level there. You put your opponent in a tech situation and then Fleet starts charging that F strong. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, it's just a simple reaction situation when you want to release that F strong, and Shadow's just putting themselves in a situation to where their set play can really shine, and that's, I think, the benefit of a lot of Fleet players right now in today's meta, just being able to set up for their set play, go for their guaranteed tech chases, as well as just set up for their edge guard flowchart. So
that's one of their many strengths, I'd say. One of many strengths. This is a bad situation. It's a 2-0 right now for Shadow. Toothbrush has to make something happen here, and it doesn't feel like it's out of possibility for Toothbrush. The game felt really close until that second stock was taken first by Shadow, and I think once that second stock was taken first, Shadow clearly is able to run away with leads really well. It's also partially a Fleet thing, because you can zone so well and you can throw out those projectiles. But just generally done a really good job of using their lead effectively, and that's been the problem with Toothbrush the most.
Yeah, finding ourselves here on Aether on Aetherian Forest. Go ahead and do that rising back air. That is such a juicy option, that rising invincible back air coming out from Ranno on the ledge. And trying to find our way back into center stage here. Shadow using the blow type mix up to try to find the way back. But the needle boost into the second needle to find the confirming hit, but the double jump was still available.
Wow, that missed! I thought that up smash was just barely going to hit, but just looked a little bit too high. That's unfortunate for Toothbrush because they had like 3 opportunities just now where it looked like a good kill option that just barely didn't kill. But Toothbrush still doing well here on that stock. We got that grab. What's the option? Back throw. I thought that was going to be good DI because it was going to avoid the combo, but apparently not. You're just a little bit too light to survive that back throw DI at that percent. So Toothbrush with the lead here in game 3.
Yeah, double hit fall, reverse hit back air into the grab was a juicy 20% little 3-piece, but and holding down for an extra stock advantage right now. Nair into forward air. These hit fall aerials, just trying to use those burst options to make these small neutral wins count, playing out of the carry, but it looks like Shadow might be able to confirm this, but a cross up from Toothbrush might just give him an extra juicy lead going into the precipice of this game number 3.
Tech chase there with that side B again, and there we go with confirming that up air. Good DI will not save you from that purple flash. Toothbrush taking a second on that Angel platform, saying I have to make sure I use this lead to as most effect as I can, because this is the first time I found myself in this situation in this set. There we go with the tech chase with that down strong. Very great option from Ranno, but okay, here we go. We got some zoning from Shadow.
Yeah, down strong is going to be probably the go-to tech chase option for strong.
Wow, great kill there. That fair is so strong from Ranno, and if your DI isn't perfect, you absolutely will die at extremely early percent. Full stock lead here for Toothbrush. Toothbrush has to keep his foot on the gas because obviously he's going to turn around at any second with the edge guarding that Shadow is capable of.
Fair gonna set up, and again, Needle Storm gonna set up and try to snuff out some of those options. Those needles aren't meant to set up a kill, but more to snipe out. And, if the float comes out, all right, let me use a needle to break that float. Let me break that double jump with my needle options. Try to set up for a third layer kill confirm on a potential edge guard. So love to see that coming out of Toothbrush.
Yeah, what a great tool, but speaking of great tools, that fleet back air is going to find a relatively reasonably early kill there. Early enough to keep them in the game here, only 70% on Shadow. Definitely a doable percent here. And like he said, using those needles just as like an interrupt to say, stop like trying to throw out a projectile from off stage. Stop, using your float, whatever. Just a little small interrupt. Very important tool there for Ranno, especially in a matchup like this. But slowly, Shadow feels like they're kind of grinding their way back into the game off stage. But Fleet has a good off stage game. They can come back pretty easily.
Right,
the option
back
here
air
from
hit balls.
Oh no, missed that up that side B tongue. What are they gonna do? They are able to make it back.
Right, back out of the neutral. And I love that he's still hit falling all of his stray hits to make sure he can get the most stage presence out of every single tiny neutral win as well. So love seeing that coming out from Toothbrush's little optimizations. Right now, tough spot to be in, and the rising back air is going to steal away game number 3.
107% after the hit. The problem there was you have a lead, right? But against Fleet, one offstage interaction and, you might lose your stock like right there. I was kind of hoping that maybe they could DI that one down into their bubble because they did have the bubble set up a little bit behind them, but it's scary to DI that one down off stage because if you miss the bubble you're for sure dead. And for whatever happened, Shadow was able to clutch it out there in that last stock, and it looks like Shadow will take it 3-0 over Toothbrush, but a good effort from Toothbrush for sure.